Hey, welcome back! Do you remember the Darlington family? Well, if you're an OG fan, or even if you have just checked out the compilation that I put up recently with their whole story, Sophie and Henry and the triplets, whole story from the very beginning to... not the very end, to now, to what we know. It's been a very long time since we actually checked in with them. So I decided we better dust them off and we had better reboot them to get them up to speed with the current Heartlake City and the current new line of LEGO Friends characters. So, just in a nutshell, in case you have missed all of this, we have got Sophie and Henry. Sophie is a vet. Henry was a wildlife rescuer in the jungle. And they met, they got married. They had triplets, which was a complete, yeah, it was a very big shock. There were a lot of babies all at once. It's quite confronting. And then they grew up into the triplet toddlers, which this was before we actually had micro dolls, but I still prefer my toddlers because, yeah, I mean, they can hold things with their hands and they get, So these are custom made littler mini dolls. If you haven't seen how I've made them, make sure you check that out. So we have got Alex, Harry, and Violet, and I think they were around about somewhere between 6 or 8 years old when we left them, when we last saw them. So let's drag them kicking and screaming into our current Heartlake Cityverse. We're going to have to age them up. So to do this, we kind of have to figure out what the new timeline is. So we got Sophie. Let's start with Sophie. So it feels like the LEGO Friends girls jumped 20 years into the future because they were teenagers around about 15, and now I reckon they're about 30 or 30, 30 or mid-30s or maybe even 40s, I don't know. So our time jump's going to be a little bit more flexible. Yeah, so we're going to mess about with time a bit because, so let's say we're only jumping them about say 12 to 15 years ahead. So Sophie's going to grow up a bit more. She was already a young adult. Let's say we are aging her up to a fully fledged adult. She's seen some things now, possibly in perimenopause. Ah, girl, the hot flushes and joy. So we're going to give her some brand new outfits and we're going to change her face print up a bit. She's still got green eyes, but just kind of, just aging her up a little bit with new parts that have become available since the original Darlingtons came into play. And I thought I would give her this hairpiece, which is such an on-trend one with a bum part down the middle, really, really straight. But I think she looks really good in it, but she just doesn't feel like Sophie anymore. So I'm going to give her hairpiece with her fringe. Perfect. Because now you look at this character and you go, yeah, that's Sophie. You can still see that she's her, right? Okay, so we've got Sophie. Sophie is, she is now a fully grown up adult. Let's bring Henry in. Oh, Sophie's still a vet. She actually owns her own vet clinic. She co-owns it with Henry, so it's a family-run business, which is very nice. And so Henry, pants, 15 years in the future, he's still going to be wearing the same pants. Probably still the same underpants too with lots of holes in them, because that's how he rolls. You cannot get him to throw these things out. But he has got a brand new top, just so that we have something a little bit different for him. And gonna age up his face print a little bit too, and I've painted some stubble on because he actually used to have a very small beard, but he didn't get that when he was actually made as a mini doll, so I thought I'd give him his little stubble beard back because it just feels a bit familiar for him. And a slight variation on his hairstyle. It's just a little bit swooped, a little, ties in nicely with his stubble, with his beardy thing. Yeah, look, see, you can still look at that character and go, this is Henry, but just a little bit older, a little bit mature, a little bit more worldly wise, a little bit worn out. Okay, now the triplets, when we last saw them, I reckon they're somewhere between 6 and 8-ish. They are now at uni. So they're technically young adults or older teens. So somewhere in there. So we're going to start with Alex. Alex, he was always such a cutie. Alex is now studying drama. He's a theatre major and he's working part-time at Australia Zoo because he loves animals just like his parents. And he has got red shoes, which he didn't actually have in his toddler form before. I've painted them for something future coming up soon, so spoilers. But so we're growing him up. We're giving him some nice young adulty, teenagery kind of comfy clothes for a student, and for his face, I had to stick with blue eyes, which I've actually painted in because this face print didn't have blue eyes. So I painted the blue, gave him freckles because of course he has to keep his freckles. He now wears glasses because it's perfectly understandable. And he's got the same sort of hair really, but he's kind of tried to smooth it down. It's a little bit long because he's a struggling, starving student and he can't afford to go and get haircuts all the time. All right. Isn't he so cute when he grows up? Do you think like they look at their, like, you know, all that stuff about what would your younger self tell to your older self? I wonder what the little one would say to the big one. Or maybe kick your brother a few less times. Actually, I think Alex is the one who spent a lot of time kicking everyone else. Okay, so we've got our theatre major off studying at uni. Violet, as the only girl, she's covered in fluff. Oh my goodness. The cat hair is stuck to this little part here that I've glued together. That is a bit grubby. Let me just do a little tiny bit of cleaning up of the toddler and she's good. We'll pop her hair back on straight. So Violet is studying archaeology. She makes part-time money on like streaming on Twitch. So she's actually the perfect candidate for me to be able to make a cozy lo-fi a dorm room for her uni room. And so she needs a comfy outfit. So these pants I actually painted myself for the pants were from Heartstopper outfit. So I've just actually painted the cuts into them, the tears and the rips. So nice and cozy. And she has got vibrant coral hair because she can, and she's got the cat ear headphones ready to be our gamer girl. I'm so excited to build her dorm room. Oh, it's going to be so cute. It's going to be so cozy. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. So we have got Alex. We have got Violet. Let's move. She looks so cute though growing up, doesn't she? I love the coral color with the red. It just goes so nicely. Okay. So Harry is currently having a little bit of a nap as a toddler. Let's get him in. Come on. And we can age him up. Now, Harry, as the slightly more exuberant of all of the triplets, what is he studying? He's actually studying marine biology, and because he wants to do work on the Great Barrier Reef here in Australia. So I actually wanted to make him kind of like a surfer dude. So that's what's going to be his aesthetic. So he's got his thongs, he's got his cut-offs, he's got his Hawaiian kind of shirt, and for his face print, once again, I needed to match the eye color. I needed to match the freckles. So, you will notice that his skin tone is slightly different on his torso to his legs. I'm struggling to find things that match these days with all the new skin tones, but it's fine. He's just got an extra tan. For his face print, this is actually Daniel's. Well, Daniel had two face prints from Mia's older brother, but this works so perfectly. This is, I think, and he's got the same hair. I've given him the same hair because it just works so well. So spiky, he can't do anything with it, basically. Puts gel in it, puts some product in, and then he just leaves it alone. Or he doesn't, it's just full of salt from the ocean. So I think Harry actually you can look at little Harry and you can definitely see big Harry in him. Oh no, it's the other way around, shouldn't it? You look at big Harry and you can definitely see the little one that he was. So we have aged up the whole family. I am going to bring them back into our rebooted version of Heartlake City and see how are they going to fit in with our current cast of new characters. Well, actually, before we do that, we need we need to put them in we need to remake this photo. So let's do it. Let's get them. Sophie on this side. There we go. And look, but now they're grown up. But we need to get the teddies in as well. So Teddy 1 and Pink Teddy. And you can absolutely bet that those teddies are in their dorm rooms. So you'll find them. They'll be there. Okay, so they need somewhere to live. This is their house as it currently exists. I did brush the dust off. It has seen some things, this house. Basically what it has seen is a benevolent God, is that me? Coming in and taking all of the parts for other builds. So this has been absolutely ravaged through time for its bits and bobs for making other particular custom builds. So they're going to need a new house. This is not going to cut it at all. Though we could make it really small because Sophie and Henry are essentially empty nesters now because the kids are off at uni. But do they still need bedrooms for when they come home to visit? I kind of think they do. So I have had two thoughts and I want to try maybe both of them, but I bought the modern house because it's so boring in it like this, but I'm going to build it and then maybe I could adapt it to be their house. And maybe if we want a smaller version, we could try and adapt the castle, the bed and breakfast, and have Sophie and Henry running it. But I don't know how I'm going to fit everybody in there because that is really quite cramped on the inside. It's going to be tricky. I might have more luck with the modern mansion. So let me know your thoughts in the comments because we are going here. We are restarting our story. We are going to continue the Darlington's timeline and we're going to take some interesting little side quests along the way too. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click the little notification button and the little bell and whatever the heck you have to, just do all the things and then check back in because stuff is coming up. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.